So we got a little bit of breakfast at the buffet. Got some scrambled eggs, sausage, bacon, a little bit of fresh fruit, and a fried hash brown. Looks like Tammy got pretty much the same thing minus the fruit. After breakfast, we came out to the adult only section, and they have a little bar right here that overlooks the ocean. And Tammy got a Bellini, and I got a nice little Bloody Mary right here, extra spicy. So we're in the morning here and we're deciding to play a little bit of shuffleboard. So I ended up winning shuffleboard today, but it was a fun thing to do in the morning, and maybe we'll play again a little bit later. So we're gonna go on the ropes course. They got harnesses that they hook you up into. Once you have your harness on, you go up top and you're able to go on all these different elements, bridges and zip lines. The ropes course extends all the way across the ship. You can see it here on this side, and then you take a zip line to the other side of the basketball court here, and then across the basketball course you can see how the rope course extends to the other side of the boat, and then you can zip line back to where you first started. So they're hooking us up to go on the ropes course.
Hold one hand all the time. No running, no jumping, and no swinging.
Can I hold two hands?
Yeah, you can hold two hands.
So we're all strapped in. We're going on the ropes course. And this brings you up pretty high up above deck and above the ocean. And you get a great view of the boat and of the ocean. They've got different elements you can take. They've got the more challenging one, which Tammy's doing right here. And then they got an easier one that's out near the ocean. That's just a plank right here. So I'm gonna go across and join Tammy on the other side of this. Which way do you want to go?
I don't like either.
I think the way with the planks looks a little bit easier.
But it's bouncing.
Well, it won't be bouncy once you get on it.
No, I hate it. How do I step out far enough?
You put your foot, and then you put it down on top of it. There you go. All right, I'll meet you. I'm gonna go this way. So Tammy's going on the planks next door to me. And I'm going on the rope one right here. So on this next part, it's a little tricky because you have to go in and out of these little orange kind of metal things. So it's tricky. You think you could just go through the middle of them, but you can't. You have to go to the outside of them, or else you get kind of stuck because of the way they got you strapped in. Let's see how Tammy does. She's doing good. Focus on where you're going. You can do it. Did good. So you can watch Tammy go across the zip line, and then I'll go across next. You zip line over the basketball court right here. There she goes. She did good. All right, my turn. And there we go on the zip line. It's fun. Is this plank where you can walk out over the ocean and looking down, and it's pretty freaky. So we're gonna give it a go and see if I can do this. So we're going down on the plank. You can kind of look down with me how freaky it is. So Tammy's gonna try going out on the plank. It's pretty freaky to go out there, but I think she's gonna go out at least a couple steps. She did really good out there. The turning around is one of the hardest things. You got it, you got it.
I hate it. Okay.
You did good, you did it. This one's a little tricky because the orange rolls kind of show you what I mean. We're gonna do this one. It's not too bad. Oh, it's a little shaky, a little bit shaky, and we're about halfway across, so I'm in it now. No matter what, I gotta make it. It's tricky. And across. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Oh, made it. The orange roller. She gets really shaky. Just focus on the end. You got it. You got it. Good job. All right, so we're gonna go on the zip line. Let's go. Woo! That's fun. And, we can watch Tammy go across the zip line so you can see what it looks like from the other angle. You did great. You end up backwards. See Tammy going across a rope bridge right there. She's doing a good job. So this one, you've got nothing to walk on. You have to use these ropes right here and kind of use it as a zip line. So let's see if I can zip line across this. All right, I made it. All right, it's time to leave the ropes course. So we're gonna go down the stairs and unhook. So this afternoon we're taking a walk around this area they call the Waterfront. It's kind of like a promenade with some outdoor seating for restaurants and bars. But we've just been strolling along and we're coming up here on the back of the boat, aft as they call it. And they have these glasses that you can look through and see the ocean below. You can walk over them. Kind of cool. And then you can look out over the back of the boat right here. So we're continuing our walk on the waterfront here. For example, this is the outdoor seating for one of their restaurants called Moderna. So during our walk here on the waterfront, we stopped at one of their open bars and we're having a few drinks overlooking the ocean. So while I was enjoying my Jameson here, we noticed out in the ocean, we saw a humpback whale come up. You're not gonna be able to see it now, but it came up and surfaced a couple times and we're able to see it. They have a variety of games right outside the Oceans pub, including basketball, air hockey, bowling, darts, and skee ball, which is what we're going to be playing right now. So we're going to have an epic skee ball challenge. Tammy got 5,000 on her first ball. Tammy got a score of 18,000. And now I'm going to have a go and see how I do. Epic skee ball challenge, I got 33,000. One of the games they have here at Oceans is Miss Pac-Man. So we're having an epic Miss Pac-Man battle. I ended up getting 20,820. And Tammy's gonna go up next and try to beat my score. Tammy has always been the Miss Pac-Man champion. And once again, she has not failed. Her high score already is higher than mine. Tammy's final score was 22,230, which beats me. So Tammy is still the Miss Pac-Man champion. So we're here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, looking out at the water. And there's a Really nice looking boat or two out there. And right across from our boat is an island that has a fort on it and a lighthouse as well. So we just pulled into port here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And you can see there is the sign for their port, Pier 21, Halifax, Canada. At the port in Halifax, they have a statue of Samuel Cunard, who is famous for the Cunard ocean lines. Right off the port is the Halifax Harbour Walk, which is a boardwalk that goes right along the waterfront here. It's a very beautiful scenic journey right at the water's edge. Continuing on the Harbour Walk in Halifax, Nova Scotia. They've got this nice little bridge over the waterway along the shops. Nice little boardwalk. So down on the waterfront, they got this sculpture of a wave that the kids climb up and slide down, overlooking the water. And they got a musician playing over on the other side. They got the famous Beavertails. These are found throughout Canada. And it's kind of like fried dough with some delicious sweet stuff on it. You can get a classic with cinnamon and sugar, apple pie, strawberry cheesecake, triple trip with hazelnut spread and peanut butter Reese's, Bananarama. It all looks like good stuff. So here is one of the world famous Beavertails. This is the brownie one with white chocolate chunks and brownie bits on it. It looks delicious. Here's the entrance to the Royal Artillery Park in Nova Scotia. And they have different artillery weapons that have been used throughout the ages. They've got older cannons and newer cannons that are off in the distance there. For example, there's a mortar, and then there's a cannon, and then off in the distance there's some newer cannons that have been used to defend Canada and its enemies throughout the ages. For example, here's a 12-pounder rifled breech cannon that was used in the late 1800s, early 1900s. So we're exploring the public gardens in Nova Scotia. This is about a 20 to 30 minute walk from the port. And when you get here, you're greeted with some beautiful scenery, and you'll see that there's a little pond off in the distance beyond these flowers. And you can sit and look at the ducks and the lily pads in this scenic garden found right here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Here's another beautiful fountain in the public gardens of Halifax, surrounded by these intricate displays of flowers. In this part of the garden, they're doing dahlia flower forms, and it's a celebration of this type of flower. And they have this entire circle of these types of flowers, which are loved by the bees in the area. And you can see the whole circle of dahlia flowers. Beautiful gazebo surrounded by flowers all around it. Public gardens in Nova Scotia, they actually have succulents and cacti and agave, and that's right in front of this beautiful little bridge right here. Here's a view from the bridge. We got a little waterfall and a house overlooking the pond. Here's a cute little street in Halifax with a pub, some different eateries on it, outdoor eating, and this is a pretty bustling spot. So we're going to be taking the Harbour Hopper tour, and it's like a duck boat style ride that goes on land and in the water. Getting started on the Harbour Hopper tour.
Now we're going to go in the water. I think everybody knows that, and we're going to go down by the casino, and it's going to be high tide, which makes a really nice little trip.
So by default, we're #1 here in Halifax. Haha, Ontario people on
for over
board.
200 years. It actually still runs on the same internal mechanisms from when it was first
Formation
built.
for an 8-pointed star. Now this is another defense tactic because it would force any attackers to charge up in the flatter valleys of the star, where it was less steep, and then we would have soldiers positioned at each of the points, which would allow us to have overlapping layers of gunfire on them. Well, welcome to the Halifax Harbour, everyone. Are you awake now? Yeah, I thought so.
Like this one. So this frigate is basically the standard warship for the Canadian Navy, and they have 7 of them here.
Crew of about 35 to 45 people. The frigate, on the other hand, would have 225 people.
The helicopter operates off that flight deck using techniques that were invented by the Canadian Navy in the early 60s, or the mid-60s, I guess, and the rest of the world essentially copied it.
That was bought by the Canadian Gambling Association in 2005 after the previous owners went bankrupt. Kind of ironic for a casino to go bankrupt, but there you go. I think the same rules apply that you need to cheer for them too. I think we're having more fun than them, aren't we? I want their lights and power. And they gaze across the harbor late at night. Take one of our 2 bridges or the most fun way of them all, the ferry. Clearly this is the terminal right here on your right hand side with the ferry that's docking right now.
They even have musicians playing the violin, selling trinkets. Right here on the boardwalk in Halifax, they got a restaurant called Sea Smoke. And each restaurant outside here has its own little fire that people can drink and eat their dinner by. All right, so tonight we're going to Savor, which is one of the restaurants that's included on board. And they change the menu every night, but they also have some traditional items that you can get every night. So before dinner, they give you a basket of rolls. So as an appetizer, I got the coconut shrimp, and it comes with this delicious dipping sauce.
Smoked mozzarella ravioli.
So Tammy got some French onion soup with some delicious cheese on top.
Cheese and a like breaded crouton and onions and beefy broth.
And I got a mixed garden salad with various types of lettuce, tomato, and some radish. So here's the lamb shake, and we got potato and carrot with it. And Tammy ordered the seafood paella with mussels and some calamari and some shrimp. That looks delicious. So Tammy got Mexican chocolate cake, and I got snickerdoodle pound cake for dessert.